Hey, Wozers, how's it going, eh? It's the Mad Canadian here. We're getting ready to show you how to make some burnt ends on your smoker using our spices. Because, I mean, well, why would we, use other people's spices on our YouTube channel? But we're going to go ahead and show you how we do this from start to finish, including lighting the smoker, getting the brisket ready, and then chopping it up and cubing it up when it's ready, and how to make them just come out sticky and just, meat candy. It's just delicious. They're bites of deliciousness. So anyways, let's get after it, eh? Okay, for this particular for this particular barbecue, we're going to be using our Oklahoma Joe's Bandera. It's the vertical one they make. It's a good smoker. I mean, there may be better ones out there, but this one is mine, and we love it. I mean, it works great. You can see it's got the additional racks in here. You can do several racks of ribs up there. Comes with these sausage hooks. You can put these in there, hang sausages off them, and it also comes with 3 racks that, I mean, I have had this thing loaded. You got your water pan down at the bottom there, eh? And over here you got your smoke box. Now, this thing comes with this rack here that allows you to put your charcoals directly on it, and you can slide that out. But as you're barbecuing, this thing gets just super heated, so it becomes kind of a pain in the butt. So what we do is we take this extra rack they sent us for cooking, and we set it in here, and that's where we set our charcoal chimney at, loaded up with lump charcoal. We use royal oak when we're doing charcoal, when we're not using oil. So pork and brew there. For the smaller stuff, we use try to use lump charcoal, and then we obviously add in the wood for the smoke flavor. But this is how we get this thing going. It's just easier on these smaller ones, and it helps out. So anyways, let's get some smoke rolling, eh? We good? Mm-hmm. Rolling? Okay. Now, like I said, we use these charcoal chimneys, and the nice thing about these is you can load paper up in the bottom of it and light it, and then that just, there's no use for lighter fluid. We haven't used lighter fluid around here in years, and especially with this thing, it just makes life a heck of a lot easier. So, let's go ahead and get this thing lit, eh?
Whoa. Okay. Hey. Sweet little bug.
I'm sorry, my cameraman's kind of vocal this morning.
A bug landed on your phone. You would be the same if a bug landed on your phone.
Okay, bud. Alright. Now, as you can see, we got our flame lit underneath there, and it's going, and it's going to keep lighting up the charcoal that's inside, and we'll have a good set of charcoal going here in about 10-15 minutes maybe. So anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at our meat, eh? Okay, as you can see here, we've got our brisket. Now, she's a small one, which is why we're doing burn ends today with it. And normally, when we do our briskets, we would go ahead and coat this thing in S&P butt. But because we're also going to because this is going to become burn ends, we trimmed it up a little bit. Didn't do a whole lot to it. But we're going to actually go with Coffee&Q on top of it to help enhance the flavor, because after you do burn ends, what's going to happen is you're going to smoke it for a while, get it close to temperature, and then you're going to go ahead and cube it up. So we're going to go liberal with this. Somebody's like, oh, just sprinkle on there. Well, sometimes you got to give it a little bit of rub. Spread it around a little bit. Make sure the flavors get all over the meat. And do it on the underside, same thing. And just get it all coated up. I mean, a lot of people worry about the edges. I don't worry too much about the edges when I'm doing burn ends, because, well, I mean, in all honesty, I'm going to cube it up, cover it in sauce, and, so the flavors that are going in with the dry seasoning, they're in there. And you can roll the edge a little bit, kind of stamp it, get some of that extra. Anything helps. I mean, you really can't season a burnt end wrong at the beginning, because like I said, you're going to mix up some barbecue sauce and some more dry seasoning later. After you cube it up, when it hits 185, you don't want to cook it all the way. Don't take it to 205, because then you're going to overcook your brisket. You're going to wind up with like shredded beef. Take it to 185, pull it off, cube it, and then put those back on and take that up to about 200, and it's just going to be the moist. Oh, it's going to be so good. Anywho, now that you have seen us coat our brisket, we're going to go and take this thing out to the smoker, throw it on a smoker and let's go. Okay, hosers, so we are at the smoker. As you can see, we have reached 250. Yeah, right around 250, just under. We normally replace these thermostats on the smokers because you can see where it sits on the door compared to where my racks are. I mean, obviously you're going to be hotter down here off the get-go. Your heat's going to build up here. So this is actually kind of like your middle zone, which is why we've laid this rack right there about where the thermometer is. So what that's going to do is that's going to help us maintain that heat right in that area, which if we're doing one cut of meat is perfect. If you're doing a bunch of cuts of meat, you're going to have your hot spots, your cold spots. So we're going to go ahead and take this thing, oh, it looks so good. Lay that sucker right there. Lay him on the smoker, close the door, and go about our business. Keep checking the fire, keeping things stoked, and we'll check her here in a little bit, and we'll show you when we cube her up. Okay, hosers, as you can tell, we've cubed up our brisket. You know, get it up in little squares. You want to try to keep them as uniform. Don't worry about that extra fat that's on top of there, because we've only taken it. Oh, look at that smoke ring. Look at that smoke ring. Anywho, we've only taken it to about 175. Now, we're going to coat it in barbecue sauce and a little bit extra dry rub. Get them all coated up nice and just beautiful. And then put them on. And what's going to happen is that barbecue sauce and that seasoning are just going to kind of make everything have that kind of bark on it. So when it's nice and done, it's all going to be uniform and just, oh, so tasty. I mean, you could sit down and eat this now if you wanted to. But if you're making burnt ends, you want to go the whole route. So we're going to go ahead and douse this stuff with barbecue sauce. And we'll show you what we're talking with. Because we got our pan here. Got our bowl. It's easier to put the stuff in a bowl. Put your sauce and your extra seasoning on it. Kind of mix it all up with your hands. And then put it in the pan. Kind of one layer is what you're looking for. And then put it back on the smoker for about an hour, hour and a half. And let everything kind of caramelize. Okay. So we've got them tossed, and normally, you know, people will go with a brown, you know, like a brown sugar or some sort of sugar-based sauce, molasses, stuff like that. Tonight, because we put the Coffee&Q on these, we coated them in a mustard sauce, and then we add a little bit more Coffee&Q, and then we're gonna put them on, and you can see it's got that glaze all the way across it. And as you put them back in the smoker at about 2 to 250, you can let them sit in there for about an hour or so. And we're going to put them in there. You know what, I'm going to go ahead and drop them down to the second shelf and just let them sit and cook. And as you're doing this, you want to go ahead and stir them about, you know, maybe halfway, a little bit sooner, 2 or 3 times during the last cooking process. You want to kind of keep them going, keep that sauce mixing around, and just make sure that everything's good and coated and sticky and just, oh, you know, like the Homer Simpson. Holy cow, it is bright out here. You know, just make sure everything's coated and you get that good glaze all the way around the meat. And it's just going to turn out absolutely fantastic. So, we'll be back with the finished product, eh?